Cults are a hard topic to talk about, right? And they're even harder to understand. Cults can be really tricky because they use psychology to control their members and make them do things they might not normally do. Cult leaders typically use manipulation, charisma, and a whole range of abusive tactics to draw their followers. How are so many vulnerable to their psychological grip? Let's talk about how cults use psychology to get people to join and stay in their group. Extreme and unconventional beliefs, unwavering loyalty to their leader, and an intense emphasis on the group as a whole rather than the individual are all the hallmarks of cults. These organizations usually submit to their leader for all self-control and adhere to highly stringent rules. Mind control methods are another tool used by cult leaders to control their followers. To keep you in line, they may instill dread in your mind or tell you that leaving the cult will have terrible consequences. But it's not just about controlling your mind, it's also about controlling your behavior. Cults often have strict rules and rituals that you have to follow, and they use things like sleep deprivation and food restriction to weaken your resistance and make you more obedient. So why do people join cults in the first place? Well, cults offer a sense of belonging and purpose that some people might be missing in their lives. They promise answers to life's big questions and a community that is always there for you. But the reality is that cults are dangerous and can have serious consequences for your mental and emotional well-being. It's important to be aware of the signs of a cult and to stay away from any group that tries to control you or make you do things that you're not comfortable with. Understanding why individuals join cults or follow spiritual teachers requires examining the psychological and situational factors contributing to their susceptibility. Cult leaders often possess a unique set of traits that enable them to exert control and influence over their followers. Let's discuss the common psychological profiles of cult leaders and how these traits contribute to their ability to manipulate and maintain power. Members of doomsday organizations are frequently cut off from one another and the outside world. It's difficult to question or think differently when you're surrounded by others who share your exact same beliefs and the same message all the time. You know how folks on the internet warn about the risks of living in an echo chamber? Well, it's like being in an echo chamber when you're a member of a cult. In a normal society, friends and other people would likely have different views, but in a cult, it is not acceptable. Everyone is blind to any doubt or inquiry and holds the same radical beliefs. It's similar to being confined to a bubble in which only one viewpoint is acceptable. Many cult leaders present themselves as the world's most significant individual. They don't really care about other people's sentiments. All they want is for others to admire them. We refer to this type of behavior as narcissism. These characteristics enable cult leaders to utilize their followers as leverage while justifying their actions as for the greater good. Although they may believe they are acting morally, in reality, they are only taking advantage of their supporters. Fear and love are two big reasons why people act the way they do. Machiavelli asserts that fear is more powerful. A major component of doomsday cults is fear. Because they are led to feel they are unable to live anywhere else, people are afraid of being expelled from the group. Everything they do is based on the cult, so being cut off from it is quite unsettling. But physical violence is a factor as much as psychological terror. To keep their followers under control, certain cult leaders, like Jim Jones and Terrio, would inflict harm on them. They would lash them, force them to sit on hot stoves, or restrict their nourishment. Another scary thing about doomsday cults is the fear of death. They often make members believe that the end of the world is coming soon. For example, Heaven's Gate told its members that a spaceship was coming to take them away, so they isolated them and controlled their actions with this fear. Cult leaders usually act like they're the boss of everything. They think their ideas and choices are better than everyone else's and want their followers to do whatever they say without asking questions. This kind of thinking creates strict rules and a culture where everyone has to follow orders without thinking for themselves. In these cults, the leader is like a king or queen, and everyone else has to do what they're told, no matter what. A strong need for control is often evident in cult leaders, as they seek to maintain power over their followers and the group's direction. This need for control may manifest in various ways, such as micromanagement, strict rules, or isolation from outside influences. Gaslighting is when someone tries to make you doubt yourself by denying or changing facts. Cult leaders sometimes use this sneaky tactic to make their followers feel unsure about themselves. They might twist the truth or deny things that really happened, making their followers question their own memories and judgment. This makes the followers more dependent on the leader for help and advice because they no longer trust themselves. Individuals who join doomsday cults are sometimes duped by a love bomb. This is the moment when every member of the cult, from the leaders to the newest recruits, show love and affection to someone. Although the intention is to make individuals feel completely at home and welcomed, it also turns them into cult members. At first, they get an abundance of unconditional love and are required to obtain all they need or desire from the cult. Later on, though, such love comes with some restrictions. In the end, they only get love if they do exactly what the cult wants. One notable instance of this was the employment of flirty fishing by the apocalyptic groups The Children of God and The Family International. To recruit new members into the cult, members would engage in sexual relationships with them. The reason they termed it fishing is that in the Bible, Jesus once spoke of his disciples being fishers of men. Rumor has it that women in the cult flirted with over 200,000 possible new recruits. Cult leaders are like expert tricksters who know how to control people using lots of different tricks. They might lie to their followers, make them feel guilty, scare them, or even say nice things to gain their trust. Sometimes they'll even divide the group into smaller parts to keep everyone under control and stop them from disagreeing with the leader. These leaders are really good at getting what they want by playing mind games with their followers. Here are just a few groups that have gotten attention to the dangers of cults. Charles Manson ordered his family of escaped criminals and other unstable people to kill many people in Los Angeles in order to incite a racial conflict. The group claimed to have killed and disposed of the bodies of many more people, but in all, they claimed to have killed 8 victims, including pregnant Hollywood starlet Sharon Tate. Although NXIVM appeared to be a self-help group, it was actually a sex cult that attacked women, branded founder Keith Raniere's initials on them, and used blackmail. A portion of the organization's structure resembled a pyramid scheme with masters hiring slaves, who in turn hired more slaves as subordinates. Heaven's Gate leader Marshall Applewhite believed that an alien spacecraft was concealed behind the recently found Hale-Bopp comet, and that after his death, his group members would be transported by that spacecraft to a higher plane of existence. 39 members of Heaven's Gate drank vodka laced with phenobarbital, covered their heads with plastic bags, and perished as the comet approached Earth. It is important to comprehend the psychology of cults and cult leaders in both religious and spiritual contexts, as well as in the workplace. By identifying the telltale indications of manipulation, control, and toxic leadership, people and organizations can boost their defenses and create workplaces that are healthy and helpful. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching this video, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell icon so you always stay tuned with more of such content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.